far right Latina girlfriend's about to take the camera. She says to warn you if the camera's shaking, it's because she's got the hiccups. So before I give it over to you, I'm gonna show you what we're making right now. We got some shrimp. We're actually making some cod too, like cod tacos as well as shrimp tacos. Got a little bit of raw onions left over from our trip to a Mexican restaurant a couple weeks ago that we're gonna use. Avocado, almond flour tortillas. We got some of these Tajín sauce. I don't even know what that is. It's tasty. Tajin. What it's not Mexican. Tajin. It's like Middle Eastern. A little bit of garlic, a little bit of crushed red peppers, onion powder. We're not going to be putting coffee in there. That's just for my morning, as well as salt. Whether it's kosher or not, that's up to you. And we also have some ghee. And now you get to see my face while I cook. I'm wearing my Iron Valley barbell shirt. So voice is kept down because we have a 5-year-old sleeping. So step number one.
You can talk a little louder.
Okay, step number one, we are going to, if you're wondering why the shrimp are all spread around, it's because I already started a couple minutes earlier, and this is actually damp from the other side. So we want to be able to dehydrate, actually I'm going to put this in my hand. So we want to be able to dehydrate both sides of the shrimp because if you guys have been following me for more than 5 minutes, you know that liquid is the mortal enemy of a good sear. Okay, so after we have gotten that, we're going to put our garlic on, and I actually made a mistake cooking right now, so you guys notice in the kitchen, I actually am very good at saving time, just like I do with my executive coaching clients. And the way we do that is by sequencing everything appropriately. So step number one to sequence everything appropriately when cooking is you start with the thing that takes the longest and cook it first. So right now we're going to, I'll let my girlfriend decide if this is bad hygiene because we haven't cleaned the cast iron since cooking fried chicken on it and steak on it a couple days ago. I'm still going to be frying the onions in it because it's going to be full of flavor. She's making a little face. I think that might mean she might not be eating the onions, but I will be. Okay, so as we get that heat going, because it's going to take the longest to saute the onions, we're going to put the Tajin sauce on. I'm going to put it very lightly because my girlfriend's not supposed to be eating this stuff, but it does taste yummy, especially if she has the hiccups. Okay, so start putting that lightly on here. And then of course we can put it on the cod too, because why not? Okay, so now that we have my hair off of that, we're gonna flip all of these suckers. We're gonna do the same thing on side two. That is salt, garlic, and a little bit of Tajin sauce. But while we do that, we're going to a little bit more ghee. Start heating up the main pan. I'll remove a little bit of egg from it from who knows when that was cooked. Okay, so now we will find the kosher salt. Again, it doesn't have to be kosher. That's just the box of salt that we had available when we ran out of salt the other day. So we're going to start breading this. And the key, again, to a good sear is eliminating as much liquid as possible and getting that pan as hot as possible. And we're only going to cook these shrimp for a couple minutes. But before we do that, we're actually going to cook the cod first because the cod is thicker, which means it's going to cook under its own heat after we remove it from the pan. And while it cooks on its own heat, we are going to be able to cook the shrimp because the shrimp are smaller. They're not going to be cooking on their own heat just as much, which means they're going to have less time on the pan. And again, this is all done so we can minimize the time that it takes to prep everything. Okay, so now we're going to put a little bit more Tajin. Tajin pepper sauce, what you want to call it. Put it on, okay. And then we're going to have the third pan go on. The third pan is going to be the tortilla pan. So, all right, let's put, that's a lot of onions, but that's okay. I really like eating those, so that's gonna be far more than we're gonna use today, and I'm actually taking a little bit of those off because that's actually like far too many onions. Okay, so now that we have that, we're gonna take that fork off with tongs as well. The fork's probably pretty hot. Okay, so we're gonna let these onions soak up a lot of the flavor from the cast iron pan. We're gonna let this get hot. And then while we let that get hot, we are also, okay, this isn't that bad. We're also gonna start heating the pan that will ultimately cook the tortillas. A little bit more flavor on that, because we are going to be multitasking. And so multitasking is not a key to saving time that I will advise you guys to do, because most people are not very good at multitasking. Even though that's kind of what we're doing right now. We are in fact multitasking. I'm going to grab.
And they say women are better at it too. I don't know if that's true.
Better at that, but like these are averages. And so if you're above average as a man, you can still be better than women. Just like if you're good at math as a woman, you can still be better at men than men who are bad at math, or who are average at math. So yes, perhaps the best multitaskers, well, that can't be true. Because the best multitaskers in the world have to be like CEOs and politicians, and those are all men. Okay.
Oh, but then you can say that they have their scheduler, their assistant. That's
hiring people
yeah.
And delegating the task. So does it not count as multitasking if you outsourced it to somebody else? That's smart to me. Okay, so we're going to, we turn this pan on high to get it hot, but we're actually going to turn it down just a little bit, because we don't want it fully high because it's going to cook through. We want to be able to have that cod on for about 3 to 4 minutes. So we're going to have it on about 2 minutes on side one, then we're going to flip it, and it's going to be 1 to 2 minutes on side two, and then we're going to let it rest. And while it rests for about 3 minutes, we're going to cook these shrimps real quickly. We're going to spread this around the tortilla pan. We're only going to cook a couple tortillas because we're only going to cook a couple tacos. We're actually going to use the rest of the meat for some nice rice. And mix with some leftovers from yesterday. So I want to show you a good meal, but I also want to be cognizant of what we're actually going to be eating for lunch. Okay, so give this a little bit of scoop. All right, keys to saving time. This is something that I work with my executive clients on because their schedules don't allow them to do everything. They have to figure out what they're going to be working on and what they're going to delegate to other people. And so, a big thing that, she just got up. She just got up. What's up? You just wake up?
Yeah.
You just woke up from a nap. Okay, so we got, this is almost ready to flip. It's not, because there is not, if you want to get a zoom in on this, we don't have moisture coming up to the top, so this is not ready to flip yet. Even though the bottom is actually probably charred fairly well. We're going to wait another 30 seconds before we're going to flip this. Okay, as that gets better, these tortillas are not fully defrosted yet. That's okay, because they don't all need to be defrosted for this to work. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. So this one is nice. Okay, so cod's almost ready to flip. Not yet, but almost. Okay. Look at that look juicy. That's juicy cod right there. So you see the bottom half is like not cooked at all, which is fine because that's why we put the bottom half on the pan. We might need to cook the side too, TBD. So Okay. We're going to basically turn this pan off. This is going to stay hot because the cast iron pan is hot, so it's going to keep it warm. And then we're going to flip this tortilla on the other side. You guys may have noticed that there is a sheet of parchment paper that's in between the shrimp and the cutting board because I don't want to have to wash the cutting board just because liquid from the shrimp may seep through it. And so that's why you can see that, yeah, we should be pretty okay. Okay, so we were talking about how to multitask, how to not multitask. And so if you're trying to save time as a busy executive, you're not going to really do it by multitasking so much as you are, this is if you have a team, so much as you are from eliminating yourself from decisions and meetings that don't absolutely require your input. And this can be hard, especially for new executives. They may be accustomed to having their fingers in everything, being involved in every decision. But the reality is you don't absolutely need to be involved in a certain decision or a certain meeting. Your time is actually best spent in meetings that you absolutely have to be involved in so you can grow faster. Or if you need to save more time, so you can save more time. A specific example would be a client of mine who, and I'll tell you that story after using this tortilla from the tortilla pan. Put another tortilla on this pan.
It smells good.
What's that?
It's starting to smell good.
Starting to smell good. That means it's starting to smell good, she says. Okay, so, one of my executive clients runs multiple businesses. Okay, so this is pretty good. I like where this is right here. We're gonna actually turn it on its side because the side of it needs to get a little bit hot. Okay, so our executive client, my executive client, runs multiple businesses, and one of them, the choke point in the business is his ability to actually fulfill the work that the clients pay for. Okay, so that's done. We don't need to clean this because we're using the same flavors with the shrimp. So we're gonna put more ghee on the pan. We're gonna use one of these
In a little bit.
limes. We're gonna put this lime on the cod. Okay. We're going to turn this on high. Boom.
Ooh. You have a comment. Search for Fitness brought John Maker here, and he says it looks like you have impressive biceps.
Should have seen them before we got in a car accident a couple weeks ago when I was looking heavy. Thank you. So we got, okay, so we're gonna start putting these shrimp on, and this is gonna be a race to see how quickly we can get both sides seared. The quicker we can do it, the juicier they're gonna be. And you see I'm putting them all near the bottom of the pan because that just seems to be where the grease is accumulating. So we're gonna take that off. We're gonna wash our hands one more time. All right. So we're gonna actually put a little bit more butter on this pan because there should have been a little bit more grease on in the middle. Okay. So this tortilla is ready to be flipped. And now we're actually ready to start flipping these too. So that's ready to be flipped. That's ready to be flipped. This one's ready to be flipped. That one's ready to be flipped. That one's ready to be flipped. This one also ready to be flipped. That one's ready to be flipped. That one's ready to be flipped. This one's ready to be flipped. This one's ready to be flipped. That's ready to be flipped. Those two are not ready to be flipped. This one's ready to be flipped. Okay, we can move these closer to the heat so they too can be ready to be flipped soon. Look at that. See, this continues to cook on itself, the cod. And so while we're waiting for all of these to be ready, we're going to slice open the avocado, as the Mexicans call it, the aguacate. I'm going to okay. This one's done. This one's done. This one's done. This one's not done. This one's done. This one's done. That one's done. This one's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. These are almost done. So you can see this is pretty tasty. Okay, so we're gonna have that there, this there, this there. Let these cook just a little bit longer. All right, so as we're doing this, we're going to
Maybe you can move the plate over here so it's within the camera range.
move the plate over there. Keep the avocados. Could have cut these a little bit better, but you know, we're trying our best, and sometimes it doesn't work out the way we want it to. So we're gonna flip those. And then we're gonna put these avocados on taco number 2. Okay. And then I am calling these shrimp ready to be removed. Okay, we're gonna turn this off.
I'm gonna turn the fan on.
Turn the fan on to low heat. Okay, so check out these amazing tacos right here. Fabulous, right? All right, so what we're gonna do is start moving them onto the taco. And then we're gonna add some of these tortillas, that's tortillas, onions, right? And then we're gonna see how we did. You guys ready for this? We ready?
I'm ready.
She's ready.
That's a nice ride.
Fabulous.
That's a nice
Chef Alex did not miss. Probably the best shrimp tacos I've ever cooked. Thank you for tuning in. Wish we had more time to talk about saving time, but we'll have to continue that next time on live stream lunch every Wednesday and Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. On this YouTube channel, like and subscribe if you want to see more. Leave comments if you'd like other content requests, and of course, DM me on Twitter if you have any questions about any of this. Peace out.